Kadosh, Boker Or, Masechet Zevachim, Daf Yomi, Daf Nun Gimel Amud Aleph 53a1. We're starting on Nun Bet Amud Bet Mishnah. The Mishnah on the bottom says Hatot HaTzibur VaYachid. Right? Remember, we're still in Ezu Mekuman Shel Zevachim. So this is the what we say in the mornings, right? In the Korbanot. So Hatot HaTzibur VaYachid, whether it's going to be the Chatat, right? Remember, the Chatat is a sin offering. So Chataot of the Tzibur, of the congregation, or of the Yachid, right? All of them are considered Kochek Kadashim, right? Right? So he says, what is a chatat hatzibur? So he says, the he-goats. You bring a he-goat of Rosh Chodesh and of Muadot. What are Muadot? Muadot are the Muadim. So when you're going to bring, these are the Korbanot Musaf. So Korbanot Musaf of Rosh Chodesh and Muadim, right, of Yom Tov, then the mam is going to be thrown on the outer Mizbeach. Shechitatam batzafon. So the shchita is going to be in the north. Vekibul daman, and accepting the blood tzafon, in the tzafon. Vedaman taun arba matanot, right? And again, you're going to need arba matanot or arba kranot of the mizbeach hachitzon. So that means here you do need 4 different things. Yeah? Keitzan. Yeah? How? Nun gimel amud aleph on the top. So he says, alav kevesh, right? If right now you're going to go up the ramp, right, which means you're going to go on the kevesh hakatan on the side of the kevesh hagadol. If you remember, when you go up on the mizbeach, right, you're going up the big ramp. The big ramp goes all the way to the top, but in the middle of the ramp you have a right turn and a left turn. The right turn takes you to the side, to the sovev, to the area on the side, and the left turn takes you down to the yesod. So therefore you have the big, huge ramp, and then you have two parts, right? I don't know if you remember, you have the picture. You go this way and that way, okay? So it says, yeah, ufana la sovev. You're going to turn to the sovev. The sovev is where you have the amma, right? The amma, meaning that it's got a half a meter that's around the mizbeach, the sovev, in order that you're able to throw the blood on top of the mizbeach. Uvalo lekeren deromim mizrachit. So you're going to go to the corner. Which corner? Southeast, right, of the mizbeach, right? And then you're going to, right, throw the blood. Then you continue. Mizrachit sofonit. So you're going to go northeast. Then you go tzefoni maravit. Then you're going to the northwest. Yeah, and then you're going to go maravit dromit, right, with the southwest. Sheirei adam, and then the leftovers of the blood. Hayashofech al yisod dromi. He used to throw it on the drom, on the southern yesod. Yesod is the foundations of the mizbeach. On the bottom, you had like a little rodapié. I don't know how you say it in English, right? A little tiny thing over there. And there they had, on the yesod, they had like 2 holes. And that's where they would come and they would throw the leftovers of the blood. V'nechalim. It's going to be eaten. Right? Lifnim min ha-kilaim. Inside of the kilaim. Right? Which means inside of the chatzer of the Bet HaMikdash. Lezichre cheuna. Ma ze zichre cheuna? Ma ze lezichre cheuna? Lezichre cheuna. He thinks it's Yom HaZikaron here. No, תראה שאתה גבר. He's getting older. What is zichre cheuna?
I went to the gas station.
Oh, okay. מה זה זכרי כהונה? זכרים. meal. Zachar. Yeah? I've got a lot of kohanim. I don't know if there's zecharim though. Fine. Bechol ma'achal. So he said over here, bechol ma'achal. Ma ze bechol ma'achal? He comes and he says, right, you could eat it in any way possible. Meaning you could cook it, you could roast it, you could bake it, you could do anything. That's bechol ma'achal. Bechol ma'achal, any form of eating. Liyom v'layla, right, for a daytime, which is yom hashchita, u'belayla she'acharav, until the lot hashachar. Ad chatzot, but the Chachamim said, no, don't do it yom v'layla. Do it ad chatzot. Because yom, you did the shchita now, during the day. So you've got the yom, and then you have the layla, the nighttime. Now, technically, you have the nighttime until the lot hashachar, right, usually. But Chachamim, they came and they made a siag ad chatzot. Okay? There's the Gemara, Hechi Avid. He says, how would he do it? Which means, what is the rochav makom, which is called the keren, which he could come and put the blood. So Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar, one of them says noten amma elach, which means he's allowed to put the blood on the gufo shel mizbeach karov lapina until an amma, ve'amah ve'elach, which means you've got an amma on each side. You've got the corner. Now you've got an amma on each side that you've got wiggle room. Meaning I don't have to do exactly in the corner. I could do it even on towards the right until half a meter or towards the left. Okay? So he says, V'chadaman, and one of them says, Mechatev yored, the Kohen comes, and he puts his finger on the Mizbeach, and he starts, how do you call this? And he starts putting it downwards, right? Until there's no more blood. Keneged chudo shel keren, opposite the chud of the keren. So if you look in the picture, it's the corner of the corner. Yeah, look in the picture on the bottom in the art school. You have the picture. You've got the keren. You've got the amah smucha is on the two sides, like this. Look, this is the amah. That means on each side you have an amah, right? This is the amah. This is the amah. But the chudo is a chud, the chad, the corner. Mamash that line. The horn. The keren is a horn, so it's on the corner of the horn. Yeah, you've got the picture right there. Look it down.
I am.
Okay, exactly. Yes, that's when you're doing it on the corner. The keren is the corner, but no, from the outside, right? You're on the amah now. But when you're doing it, do you have an amah and amah, which means over here? Do you have all this space, or is it mamash on the corner, on the chudo? Okay, so no, because you take your finger and you go down on chudo shel. Yeah, no, with the finger. That's what you just said. So Aliba de Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, the Amar, this is good according to Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon that he says, Atzma ena nasit, right, which means that there's no mitzvah of zrikat adam ela begufa shel keren, but only in the keren which actually is sticking out of the mizbeach. Techule alma lo pligi, because nobody argues. Ki pligi, when is the machloket then? Aliba de Rabbi, according to Rabbi, because according to him, you could put it even below the how do you call this? Even below, right, the karnot until the chuta sikra. Meaning, according to Shtat Rebbe, any area from chuta sikra up is okay. It doesn't have to actually be on the keren. For us, the keren, when you have the mizbeach, right, the mizbeach, you've got the corners, and then on the top of the mizbeach, you have a keren, which is like the horns, the four corners sticking out. Okay, that you've got the chumash. So it says here like this. Here you've got the mizbeach. On the mizbeach on the top, you see that there's four horns, the keren, but the karnot are sticking out only on the top. So the question is, what is the keren? Is it only the top part, which that's the part which is sticking out, or is it from already the chut sikra upwards until the horn? So that's shitat Rebbe. Okay, kipli galiba de Rebbe. That according to Rebbe, you could do it now. Here on this picture, you see that there's the kevesh, which is the ramp going up in the middle, the big ramp, and then there's two side ramps, one going to the Amah Sovev, and one going, right? Everyone sees a picture. Over here. Yes, that's Rebbe. Whenever it says Rebbe by itself, so you then see.
There's the four horns. We're asking if the edge that sticks out is the actual keren.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or is it any part that way going up from Chuta Sikra upwards to the horn?
The flame have to do it?
No, nothing to do with it. The flame, the picture of the flame, you've got the kevesh with the kevesh is a ramp. The ramp, not keves. Again, you always think about food. Kevesh. Right? In the korbanot, by the way, it's kevesh. You didn't know that? I love a kevesh. Ufanala sovev. אתה שומע? No. Right? You alav a kevesh, you went up on the ramp, ufanala sovev, and you went to the sovev. How did you go to the sovev? Because that's the right one goes to the sovev. The left one goes downwards. Not the flame. The flame is on the top of the mizbeach.
So you showed the flame. That's why.
No, on that picture of the flame, you had the two side ramps, one going up and one going down. Show him that picture of the flame. Oh, he doesn't have it. He doesn't understand English. You see, there's two ramps on the sides.
Okay.
So one of them goes to the sovev, and one of them goes down to the yisod.
This is an air view, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So says the Gemara, but according to Rabbi, more savar, right? One of them says, just like you put on the keren itself, amayilach ve'malach, kenega the keren who has more savar, kenega chuda'in tfeilo, but not more than that. Meitvei, we're going to ask the following question. Yeah? Chatat tzibur v'yachid. Right? When you have a chatat tzibur v'yachid, keitza matan daman, how do you go and put the blood? Hayaolela kevesh. You used to go up to the ramp. Ufanala sovev. And used to go to the sovev. Remember, to the right side, which is the sovev, which that's the side that goes around all the entire mizbeach. Right? Uvalo lokeren deromi mizrachit. And you're going to go to the south eastern wall. You're going to dip your finger, your right finger inside of it, right? Amyumenet shebiyamin, which is the muchsheret of the yamin, right? Which is basically the pointer, okay? Minadam shebamizrak, with the blood which is in the mizrak. Vechomer, now you're going to push it, begudalo, right, with your bohen milmala, ubetzba'o ktana milmata, in order that you're putting it on the entire mizbeach, okay? That means basically what you're doing is you're using your thumb and your pinky. You're using your thumb. You're using your thumb and pinky in order to make it that it's going to go in one place. Then you go downwards. Until there's not going to be any blood. That's what you're supposed to do on every single one of the corners. So answers the Gemara. Hachi kamar. This is what it means to say. Mitzvah bechuda. He says it's only a mitzvah to do it, not b'diavad, meaning it's a mitzvah lechatchila to do it on the corner. But if you just did it on one amma here and there, there's no problem whatsoever. Says the Gemara, my Rabbi umay Rabbi Elazar b'Shimon. Where did you see Rabbi and Rabbi Elazar b'Shimon? So he says the Tanya was learned in a Braita. Tamim elyonim nitanim michuta sikra al mala. The upper bloods is from chuta sikra and aboveward. Tamim atachronim, the lower bloods, is going to be from the chuta sikra and downwards. These are the words of Rabbi. Rabbi Elazar b'Shimon omer, pamed one of these words, be'olat ha'of, aval bechatat be'ema, hi atzma ina nasit el gufa shekeren. It has to be on dafka on the gufa shel keren. Yeah? I'm going to ask you a question. What animals go above the chuta sikra? Right? Whether it's animals and birds, and what goes below the chuta sikra? Off lemala. But what off? Which one of the off? Lemala. You're very good, doctor. You're on the ball. I just need one more thing.
Together.
Which one? You ola. You again. You did ein. 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 Olat off lemala. So it means chatat off lemata, right? And the exact opposite by the animals. If I just said olata off lemala, so therefore olat behema is lemata and chatat behema lemala. Right? Because again, one more time, the second that you have the one of the equations, one of the x, all the everything else you have it. But it's always the opposite. So if you just said that olata off lemala, chatata off lemata. And if you just said, yeah, ein. Olat off lemala, ein.
Wow.
Yeah, waf. Yeah, everything is off. So that's why we just said right here that that's only by olata off. But chatat behema, that is also done above, it's only going to be on the keren. It's going to be gufa shel keren. It's not going to be on the actual above the chuta sikra. It has to be above the chuta sikra, but ad lemala, until the top. Okay? Next. My tama de Rabbi. I'm Rabbi who? Says Rabbi of who? What's the reasoning of Rabbi? Yeah, you with me? You give them Mudalef. You have 53A1. You have 53A3. So he says over here, my tama de Rabbi. What's the reasoning of Rabbi? Dichtiv v'setz pasuk v'harel. Right? V'harel is 400. Mariel. Right? Lemala. Right? It's going to be 400 to the Havya. He says, Amar Avad Abba, Mekom Karnot is 400. Meaning the Karnot is going to be 400 because it's an Amalama. If you've got 4 corners and every single corner is 1 by 1, so that's why it's going to be 4 amot. Okay? Because there's 4 corners, so it's 4 amot. Okay? So the harel is the mizbeach. Okay?
But I thought that the horn.
Yes, the harel is the mizbeach. So we say, friend, that it's going to be 4 amot. So he says, but how could it be 4 amot? What does that mean? 4 amot. So he says, no, 4 amot is because the corners are 4 amot. Because each corner is 1 by 1. So if each corner is 1 by 1, so it's 4 amot.
I guess you said there's a
Exactly.
2, 4, 6, 8. No?
No.
You said it's
No, the full corner was 1 amah by 1 amah. 1 amah by 1 amah.
This was half a month. This was half a month. Because the corner is like this, right?
Yeah.
So it means that on this side there's a half an amma and half an amma.
No, why? 1 amah by 1 amah. But this is the corner. So you've got 1 amah.
1 by 1.
Yeah, 1 by 1. And this is the corner.
1 אמה זה חצי מטר.
בדיוק, 48 centimeters, according to Grachlan.
זה 2 בלטות.
Yeah. Fine. Next. So he comes and he says, Mekom karnot arbava. You're going to tell me there's 4 amot. Ela eimar reshut karnot is arba. Right? Which was basically he wants to say that it's going to be the reshut of the arba amot. Because he wants to say that it's only 2 amot from Mizrach Marav and 2 amot from the Daron Tzavon. It's not 4 amot. So now he comes and he says like this. Tzanan hatam, we learned over there. Chut sikra chogro beemtza. You remember we spoke about the chuta sikra is going to be in the middle of the mizbeach. So he says lavdil ben damim yonim damim tachtonim, to separate between the upper bloods and the lower bloods. Remember that they used to sprinkle the blood on the mizbeach, and certain bloods had to be on the top of the mizbeach, and certain bloods had to be on the bottom of the mizbeach. So you had the chuta sikra, which is the red line in the middle of the mizbeach. Yeah, I'll show you this on the picture. No, not on the phone. In the chumash. Okay. By the way, there you have the keren, and that's the chuta sikra. That's the red line. So if you realize,
the middle line or the bottom line?
no, the middle. Where was the bottom? The middle.
Oh.
Yeah. And by the way, that's the amah sovev. You see that? That's the amah sovev. Yeah, you saw the amah sovev, right? That's the amah sovev.
Oh, you see even the horns.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and why is there like an indentation on top? Look.
אז למה לא רואים את קרנות המזבח?
Pause. No, go back. Go back.
הרב, למה לא רואים את קרנות המזבח?
You do see the karnot mizbeach. Over here,
אני
you see.
לא רואה אותם.
Over here, you realize this is the ramp going up to the sovev. That's the sovev.
So there's okay.
The ramp in the
But
middle.
you can't go from here. You have to go from the bottom.
No, so technically you're supposed to be able to go halfway up, and then it's in the middle. I don't know why he did it from the bottom.
Okay.
And then over on this side, you're supposed to have another one that goes downwards. I don't know why he doesn't have it. Those like what we have.
You see also around there's it's indent like
Of course. Also in the middle. That's the Amah Sovev, and also on the top.
it's to be able to move around.
Move around to walk around.
Okay.
איפה אבל קרנות המזבח?
Here.
לא, פה,
I don't know what they did there.
You know, have to know this, no? There's a bit.
There are 2 ramps. One going to the Amah Sovev, which is on the side, this part, that you're able to walk on it. This is how you walk. And then the other one on the bottom, going to the bottom. And that's to the Yisod on the bottom.
Oh, look.
Ah, you see, that's the Sovev. Look at the Sovev. There you go. Look. Turn around.
Let me send it to everybody. You see, Rabbi, the telephone is good. No, send it to.
Yeah, you have it there. Fine. Now he says like this. So he says, how do we know? אמר רב אחא בר רב קיטינא שנאמר והייתה רשת עד חצי המזבח. תורה נתנה מחיצה להבדיל בין דמדמים מתחתונים. You have to separate the upper bloods and the lower bloods. Fine. 2 dots. Sheirei Adam. We're talking about now the leftover of the blood. They used to pour it on the Yesod Deromi, on the southern part of the Mizbeach. תנו רבנן מילון תנו ברייתא וכל דמה ישפוך אל יסוד המזבח זה יסוד דרומי. The Yesod, this is the Yesod Deromi. Okay? So he says, אתה אומר, are you going to tell me now יסוד דרומי? או אין יסוד מערבי. Right? So he says, וילמד סתום מן המפורש. So Omarta, you're going to say, ילמד ירידתו מן הכבש ליציאתו מן ההיכל. Just like יציאתו מן ההיכל בסמוך לו, it's always going to be very close to you. So too when you go down, it's always going to be סמוך לו. Right? Which means the Shirei Adam is going to be right when you're going down, right from the Mizbeach, which is the Yesod Deromi, the south. So he comes and he says this. Tanya, we learned in the right, Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Zeh v'zeh Yesod Ma'aravi. Rabbi Shmuel Bar Yochai says, Zeh v'zeh Yesod Deromi. So there's machloket. Is it Yesod Deromi or Yesod Ma'aravi? So Bishaman Leman Amar, it's good according to the Man Amar Yisomar Avi Kasavar Yiman Satum Mifurash. You're going to learn that which is Satum from the Mifurash. But he says, but according to the Man Amar, yeah, that's the bottom. Yes. Yeah. So he says, but according to the Man Amar, Tiromi, my time, what's reasoning? Amanavasi Kasavar Aitan Mizbeach Batzafon Kai. He says, according to him, the Mizbeach was in the Tzafon. So if the Mizbeach is going to be in the Tzafon, it comes out that when you go out of the Hechal, the first thing that you see is the Yisod Romi. Okay. Remember, the Hechal is a big building, right? The big building. And in this big building, you had the Ulam, which is like it's called the hallway, right? Then you had the Hechal, which was a big building, right? And then inside the big building, you had the Kodesh Kodeshim towards the end of it, the back room. Okay? So now he comes and he says, right? Lishna Chrina, another explanation, Kule Petach Bedorom Kai. The entire Hechal was in the south of the Mizbeach. So it comes out that Yisod Dromi was the first thing that you come out and you actually see. Okay, Nun Gimel Mubet, 53b. Tanan Rishomel Rishomom Yochai. Zeveze Yisod Dromi. This is going to be Yisod Ma'aravi. So he says, "V'simanach." What's the siman? Mashchu Gavre legavra. Right. A lot of people they come and they're moshech the yachid, which means Talmidei Rabbi Ishmael were much more. So they were nichneu. Right. They sheikanu at Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that he's a yachid to say like them. Right. That means basically they convinced him to say like that. Okay. Fine. Mishnah. Mishnah on the top of Nun Gimel Amubet, 53b, the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Ha'olah, the Korban Olah, Kodesh Kodashim. Again, it's going to be Kodesh Kodashim. Shechitata Betzafon. Again, you're going to do what? You're going to do the Shechita in the north. The Chibul Davam B'Chesha Betzafon. You're going to accept the blood in the north. And here you only need 2 matanot, which are 4. Meaning the Chatat, you needed 4 matanot. Here you only need 2 matanot, which are 4. Utunayv Shet. You have to skin the animal. Venituach, you cut up the animal, right, into pieces. The Chalil Yishim, but the entire thing is going to be consumed on the Mizbeach. Says the Gemara, Ola, my tamatan le kodesh kodashim. Why do we have to say by the Ola kodesh kodashim? Why do we have to say it? We know it. So he says, Mishum de loktiva, but it's not written kodesh kodashim here. It's not written it. So therefore, since it's not written, we have to say it in the Mishnah. Next, and the blood has to go 2 matanot, which become 4. How do you do 2 which become 4? The corners. Very good. When you slash it in the corner, it splits up into 2. Yeah? Hechi Avid, how do you do it? So he says, Amar Rav, says Rav, noten v'chozeh v'noten. You put on one side and then you put on the other side. Ushmona says, no. Matana achat kemin gamma. Unoten. You have to put it like the letter gamma, right? Which means in the Greek, in the gamma, it's like a chaf, right? It's like a chaf sofit. So therefore, you're putting it on the key, on the pina, right? Which is in front of you like alachson, and therefore it's going to be shten matanot shener ba. So says the Gemara ketanai. It's a machlok tanaim actually. It says why? Yachol yizrekenu zrika achat. I would have thought to say that you only sprinkle it once. Tamanumar saviv. Saviv means that's to go around, right? So he says, so saviv yachol yakifenu kechut. So one thing, if you're going around, so maybe you have to go around completely like a chut of dam, right? Like a string. So he says, tamanumar v'zarku. You have to throw it. So he says, okay. So how do you do it then? Kemin gamma. You do it like the letter kaf. So it's going to be 2 matanot, which become 4. Because when you sprinkle it on the corner, it becomes 4, because it goes on both sides. Rabbi Shmuel says, "Ne'mar kan saviv ne'maleh saviv, maleh halam pisuk arba matanot." Of kan is going to be pisuk arba matanot. So says the Gemara, "Ima lehalan arba matanot arba kenot, of kan arba matanot arba kenot." V'amarta oleta right ola to na yesod. V'kerem mizrachit sovanit deromit lo haya yesod. It didn't have a yesod. So he says, what's going on exactly? What does that mean? I don't. You have the picture there. Look in the picture. In the picture where you have Mizbeach Yehuda and Binyamin. You have the picture, everyone? Nobody?
Let me see.
So there you have a yesod. Do you see the yesod? The yesod is only going to be in the tzafon and ma'arav.
When you say the yesod, say it in English. So.
The yesod is foundation, the bottom part. The foot part on the bottom, where you sprinkle the leftover bloods. Yeah?
It's not the same. This is another thing. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. So look at the yesod. Do you realize that the yesod is only going to be in the north and then in the west? And you've got a little tiny protrusion, a little tiny mamash tipa on the south and a tipa in the east, right? Because basically it goes like this, but a little tiny bit sticks out in the. No, it's not a ramp. That's the bottom part of the mizbech.
Okay.
You had the video. The video.
So this is the extra that you're talking about.
Exactly. It says Amma. You have it there. But here, I don't know if you would understand this picture. That's why I use the art school one, right? Because this one it looks very interesting, right? Because it comes like this, but it's the same yesod. It's the same thing. Okay. So he says like this. So he says, "My tama. What's the reasoning why this keren didn't have a yesod? Right? Why? You don't think about it. That means the only keren that didn't have a yesod was southeast. Correct? Everybody's with me or not?
Yeah.
How do we know that southeast did not have? No, that one did have a yesod. The bottom one. No, the bottom one.
This one?
No. Iowa. One more time.
C'est ce que je lui dis.
Not this one.
That's what I said.
Sorry, this one. You have the picture that was away. But we have the picture that's when it's on the bottom over here and up here. Yeah?
Iowa.
No, because our picture here, right? Our picture here, that's what I'm picture. Here doesn't have a yesod. But in this one, it's this one that doesn't have a yesod. Yeah? I'm glad that you're actually paying attention. Shechianu. Now I understand everything. Yeah, so one more time. So the question is, why is it that's the only one that doesn't have a yesod? Think about it. You have a yesod, every single other corner has a yesod.
So why?
This one doesn't. It's lefi shelo hayta bechelko shel toref, because it's not going to be in the chelik of toref, because it says in the chelik of Eretz Yisrael that Binyamin had, right, the Shechina, right, Shekinah Yaakov toref, right, but it says Binyamin ze'ev yitraf, so he was in the chelik of Yehuda. So therefore he comes and he says, because of that, that's what it says, Damar v'shmuel bar Yitzchak, mizbeach ochel bechelko shel Yehuda ama. So he says, right, you've got it,
Oh, sorry.
the chelik of Yehuda.
That's what it means?
Exactly, right there. You see the green part. The green part is the yesod. So it shows you all around, but at the beginning it did not have the green part.
Exactly.
Right? You see it? Because you don't have it. So he says over here, it's a mizbeach, is going to be tofes. What does that mean? It says the keren mizrachit dromit was in the chelik of Yudah, not on Binyamin. So that's why it was different. It wasn't in Binyamin's part. That means all the rest of the mizbeach was part of Binyamin. This part was in Yudah's chelik. Okay? So Amar Rabbi Levi bar Chama, Amar Rabbi Chama bar Chanina, right? ורצועה הייתה יוצאה מחלקו של יהודה ונכנסה בחלקו של בנימין. There was a little tiny strip that went from Yehuda into Binyamin's part. והיה בנימין הצדיק מצטער עליו בכל יום לנוטרן. Binyamin always wanted to take it. שנאמר, but it says in the pasuk, חופף עליו כל היום. לפיכך, and therefore, זכה בנימין הצדיק was זוכה to become the אושפיזין. דרסניה והקדוש ברוך הוא, because it says, ובין כתפיו shachen. So basically, that's why the Kodesh Kodeshim, which the Aron HaKodesh is in Chelek Binyamin. So therefore, Yehuda only had a little tiny strip, which was it, and that's why that part of Yehuda, there's no Yesod. There's no Yesod.
Why again? Sorry?
Because it's part of Yehuda.